So, today we're going to dive into a story that's, well, it's so simple, but so incredibly profound that it's become this huge global thing. We're explaining the lessons from Who Moved My Cheese, which you might know from its super popular Hindi version, right here on the screen. It's all about one of life's biggest hurdles. What do we do when the world decides to change on us?
All right, let's just get right into it with a question the source material asks everyone. Are you afraid of change? And I mean, really, take a second and think about that. It's not just about the huge, life-changing stuff. What about the little things? You know, when your daily routine gets thrown off, is your gut reaction to push back, or do you just roll with it?
The amazing thing is, this whole massive lesson is tucked inside a story that seems almost, I don't know, like a kid's fable. Its real power isn't in some complicated plot, but in its simple, universal truth, which we're about to get into.
So first up, we meet our two mice. Just think of them as pure, simple instinct. They don't overthink. There are no complex emotions. They're just driven by one single, simple thing.
And then, in the very same world, you've got two little people. And yeah, they're basically supposed to be us, full of complicated thoughts, worries, dreams, and that classic human habit of overanalyzing every little thing. Their entire life takes place in this giant maze, a huge labyrinth of twists, turns, and dead ends. And what's the one thing they're all hunting for? Cheese. But in this world, cheese isn't just food. No, it's everything. It's the symbol for happiness, for success, for whatever you want out of life.
And for a while, life is good. They find this one spot that is just overflowing with all the cheese they could ever want. Life is predictable, it's easy, it's safe. But, comfort can be a real trap. And the story's main event is about to completely flip their world upside down. One morning, they show up, just like any other day, expecting their cheese, and they find nothing. It's gone. And not just a little bit of it, all of it. The very thing their security was built on has just vanished.
Now, this right here, this is the moment. This is where the story splits, and we see two totally different ways to handle this. The mice, they don't even hesitate. They see the situation for what it is, no cheese, and boom, they're off, running back into the maze, sniffing around for more. But the little people, oh, they're just stunned, paralyzed. They get angry. They start pointing fingers, basically yelling, "Who moved my cheese?" They're just frozen, hoping things will go back to the way they were.
And this is the part where the story stops being about some mice and little people in a maze, and it starts being about you. The whole fable turns into a direct, personal lesson. Because that cheese they were all after, well, it's just a metaphor.
The story challenges you to ask yourself, what's your cheese? What's the thing you're chasing? What does happiness and success look like for you? And maybe more importantly, what are you holding on to so tight that you'd be completely lost if it disappeared tomorrow?
And as you can see here, cheese can be anything. For you, maybe it's your job or your career path. For somebody else, it's a specific relationship or maybe their financial security. It could even just be the comfort of your daily routine. It's whatever you've decided is your personal source of joy and safety. It's your perfect little spot in the maze.
So when your cheese eventually gets moved, and trust me, it always does, you're left standing at a fork in the road. And the story says there are really only two ways to go, one that leads to feeling stuck and one that leads to something new.
Here's the one fundamental rule of the maze that the little people forgot, and honestly that we all forget sometimes. Change is the only thing you can count on. The thing that makes you feel secure today won't be there forever in the exact same way. Believing it will, getting too comfortable, feeling entitled to your cheese, that's not just unrealistic, it's a recipe for disaster.
The choice it lays out is brutally simple. You can stand there and fight the change, complain about it, wish for how things used to be. The book's pretty clear. That road only leads to pain and feeling miserable. Or you can accept that reality has shifted, start moving, and find that new paths, maybe even paths to better cheese, will open up for you. It's really the difference between being a victim of change and an explorer of it.
Okay, so this whole thing, the entire fable, the maze, the cheese, all of it is really building up to one single powerful takeaway. It's all designed to leave you with one final piece of advice.
So, forget the characters for a minute. This right here boils down the book's entire philosophy into one thought you can act on. This is the core message. the one thing to remember in a world that never, ever stands still.
And that message is this: be ready to move, or be ready to lose. It's that direct. The story isn't just saying you should react to change when it happens. It's saying you need to anticipate it. Be more like the mice, always checking the supply, noticing when things are getting a little old, and being brave enough to head back out into the maze before you're left with absolutely nothing. So the real question isn't just about how you'll react when things change. It's about what are you doing right now to get ready for the change that you know is on its way.